Welcome back. Let's talk about the next process called manage stakeholder engagement. In manage stakeholder engagement, this is where you take your stakeholder management plan and you actually execute the plan, doing all the things that you've planned that you would do to keep your stakeholders engaged. Now, I like to take a look at this process as one in which you can upplay certain documents, certain plans, certain tools and techniques of project management to keep everyone on the same page. Have you ever been to a meeting where people are clueless about requirements? Even clueless about requirements that they gave you. They've got no recollection of it. Well, one of the best ways to keep your stakeholders engaged is a requirements traceability matrix. It's a matrix that tracks requirements to their origin. It's a very basic tool, but when you use it, the payoff is absolutely huge. A requirements traceability matrix enables transparency in requirements and success criteria. Another key document to use is called a work breakdown structure. If you have ever used a WBS, you know the magic that it can do when it comes to getting your stakeholders focused and engaged on what the project is all about. It's a visual depiction of what a project is. It breaks down the project from the high levels into the low levels. So it's called a WBS. That's the acronym. But work breakdown structures are absolutely invaluable. It enables you see the big picture. It puts you on the same page with stakeholders. The next one is called a scope statement. A scope statement is a narrative of what exactly is in the project. If your stakeholders want you to work on a project as a PM and you don't have a scope statement, you should definitely ask for one, because it's from this scope statement that you'll expand and document what exactly the stakeholders want. A scope statement clarifies inclusions, exclusions, constraints, and assumptions. Typically, this is the job of the project manager. The project manager should get a statement of work from the customer and then flesh it out into a scope statement that clarifies all of the inclusions, all of the exclusions, all of the constraints and assumptions. The next plan I would highly recommend is a quality management plan. It gives clarity on quality standards. The next one is called a risk management plan. It provides clarity on your risk management approach. These are documents that you can use to pull your stakeholders in, to get them engaged, to keep them aware. If possible, get them to actually work on some of these documents or plans with you. The next one is the issue log, which provides insights into issues in a timely and proactive fashion. In fact, the issue log is a document that you're meant to generate from the managed stakeholder engagement process. Still on documents that you can use to get your stakeholders sucked into your project to keep them engaged, we have the communications management plan, which gives transparency in your communications approach. For projects you work on, I would highly recommend talking about your approach to communications before you actually begin sending out communications or meeting. Ground rules are do's and don'ts, acceptable behavior for the project team. The risk register gives clarity on project risks that are in the horizon. It enables stakeholders to see what's coming down the pike, what possible risks are on their projects, and how these risks can be counteracted. A very important one as well. We also have performance reports, which give transparency on project status, and the cost management plan, which sets expectations for cost management. And lastly, the change log. Any changes that are requested should be logged and they should be updated as appropriate. So this has updates on all of the different changes, change requests that have been sent through the right process for approval or rejection. This is where all of those change requests are logged. So using all of these documents and plans when engaging your stakeholders is very valuable. It enables them to see what exactly the project is about, the status of the project, and how well you're doing or where you need their attention. So when we talk about manage stakeholder engagement, we're talking about communicating and working with stakeholders to meet their needs and expectations. Our main goal is to increase support and to minimize any resistance from these stakeholders. We want to increase our chances of success on our projects. We want to address issues as they occur, and we want to foster appropriate stakeholder engagement. The key word is appropriate. Some stakeholders might be extremely engaged, and they might be so committed to your project that it gets in the way of other important work that they may need to do. For such stakeholders, we may need to curtail the exuberance a little bit. But for those that we really need on the project, then we really truly need to get them on the project as required. So when we talk about stakeholder engagement, we're making sure that we are resolving issues, any issues that surround the project, any problems. We need to take the appropriate action to get those problems solved